Good morning, folks. Welcome back to this week's edition of TCS Student News. I'm your host, Jacob, here with my other host,
Garrett.
On Sunday, a Palestinian man stabbed and shot two people, killing them. One person is an Israeli soldier, and the other being a 47-year-old civilian man. This has caused greater unrest in the region due to the upcoming of the election in Israel. On Friday, however, before this attack, there was a restarted calm between Israel and Palestine after two missiles were shot from Gaza towards Tel Aviv. Thankfully, there were no injuries were reported. Back to the most recent incident, following the stabbing in Israel. Following the stabbing, Israel retaliated with strikes at military sites and compounds belonging to Hamas, the Islamic militant group that controls Gaza. The Israeli military said one of the sites they struck in Gaza was the headquarters for coordinating Hamas activities in the West Bank.
The Middle East is an area in a lot of turmoil right now. I hope the bloodshed can come to an end. On Friday, March 15th, 2019, one of the worst fears in one of the so-called safe places on Earth took place. A man went into a mosque with an assault rifle ready to kill. The gunman successfully killed 50 people while live streaming the killings on Facebook. The Prime Minister of New Zealand called for gun laws and for New Zealanders turning their guns. The police commissioner, Mike Bush, said his officers would gladly take away the guns. People who want to get rid of their guns should notify the police ahead of time. The New Zealand auction website TradeMe said it was pulling semi-automatic weapons from its sites. New Zealanders want gun safety who sold guns to the shooters to stop selling fully automatic guns.
Garrett, you drinking a lot of sodas?
No, I mostly drink a lot of tea.
Well, did you know that drinking a large amount of sugary drinks have been linked to a higher risk of premature death?
How is that possible?
Frequently drinking sugary drinks such as soda, sports drinks, and juice is linked to an increased risk of premature death from cardiovascular disease. Women who've had more than 5 sugary drinks per week had a 66% more chance of dying prematurely. Men who did the same had a 29% increase in risk. The researchers used data from 37,000 American men and 80,000 American women. There is also a more serious condition that has been linked to excessive consumption of sugary drinks: cancer. The link is a very small percentage, but it could rise as more artificial additives are added to the mixture of chemicals and flavors inside of these drinks.
In our news, Theresa May is working to get her Brexit deal passed. British Parliament ruled that she could not put her divorce deal to a new vote unless it was resubmitted in a fundamentally different form. Seeking a complete break from the EU is more likely to have a no deal Brexit. The pound has fell to its lowest value before the government started negotiating deals. May's withdrawal agreement negotiated with the EU last year was seen by Brexiteers as leaving Brexit too closely aligned to the EU while depriving it of voting rights in the bloc.
Now to the TCS student news. On Friday, Mr. Joe Zito came in for a conversation with. He spoke a little about his life and how when he was a kid he didn't really have much to be happy about. He shared a whole lot of good wisdom. One piece of wisdom was, wherever you focus energy will follow. He also spoke about how the mindset is key to success. If you have a positive mindset, then you will succeed. He also spoke about a method. That if you imagine yourself achieving your goal and you get hooked on that feeling of it, then you will become more likely to achieve it. Once you attach yourself to the good feeling of achieving, you will want more, therefore pushing yourself to achieve more. He also spoke directly to me. I have a lot of issues with beating myself up over small things. He showed me that it's all in my mindset, and that if I sit back and think about what I say, I will know that it's not true. Finally, he told us to write a list of 10 things that we are. We need to look over his list every day, and soon it will not be necessary to look at it. We will just know.
A little over a year ago, two former students graduated from the Baltimore County Fire Academy. The Fire Academy class started out with over 4,000 applicants. The class soon got smaller to have 28 applicants left. Jason Hammings and one of his fellow classmates graduated from the Baltimore County Fire Academy. Jason stopped by the school on Tuesday for a little visit. He will be back. He'll be coming back in April for a conversation with. We cannot wait to, we cannot wait to talk to you again.
On Tuesday, we had a very special conversation with Mr. Paul Coates. Recently, we've been reading a book titled The Beautiful Struggle, which was written by his son Ta-Nehisi Coates. The school involves parts of Ta-Nehisi's child. The story involved parts of Ta-Nehisi's childhood and how his father, Paul Coates, impacted him. Mr. Paul Coates came in and spoke to us about why he raised Ta-Nehisi the way he did, and how he gained his love for books and being active in the world. He spoke about the reasons why we should be aware of what is going on around us. He spoke about how when he was raising Ta-Nehisi, there were 3 major rules. Rule 1, always respect your mother. Rule 2, always respect your elders. And Rule 3, always respect your teacher. Other than that, you're fine and things are flexible. He spoke about how there is not one specific way to raise a child. He feels that he raised Ta-Nehisi the way he wished for him to turn out in life. I really enjoyed this conversation and hope he comes back soon.
This week we had lunch that's provided to us by Miss Carol, Miss Paige, Miss Amina, Nina's mom, Miss Amina, Nina's mom, and Miss Sandy, Jordan's grandma. On Monday, Miss Carol brought in a chicken pasta dish. On Tuesday, Miss Paige brought in corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, Irish soda bread, and green beans. On Wednesday, Miss Amina brought in tuna salad, chips. And last Thursday, Miss Sandy brought in pasta, donuts, mini croissants. We would like to thank everyone who brought in lunches. They were all great.
Well, that wraps up next week's edition of TCS Student News. I hope you all have a great weekend. Have a great weekend now.